Hi. So after having done a buddy read and a dual review with Cameron for Halloween season, in which I sent him my part of the video and he showed it on his channel, I thought it might be fun to do something similar. So I reached out to Ben Long from Reads Vicariously. He's one of the Nightworm reviewers as well, and I asked if he wanted to do a buddy read. Thankfully he said yes, which made life a lot easier. And it also seemed that he had never read a Hunter Shea book before. I know, crazy, right? And we both happen to have a copy of this little beauty, Ghost Mine. So we thought, perfect time to break Ben's Hunter cherry and to dive straight in to the weird, warped but wonderful mind of Hunter Shea. So I'm going to do my little bit first, then Ben's going to do his part, and then we have some questions from Hunter himself. So what did I think of Ghost Mine? Okay, I don't think it's going to be any great shock or surprise for anybody who knows me to know that I absolutely loved it, alongside with anything, whether it be a novel, a short story, something on his Patreon, anything at all that Hunter writes is just, for me, pure gold. So I absolutely love this. Slightly different in that this was the first of his stories that I've read that had a historical element to it, because it's set in the early 1900s. So it has a sort of Western theme. So a bit like Dust Devils by Jonathan Downes, and like some of the more recent and popular Death Head Press books, which I can never say, like Magpie Coffin and whatnot. It has that element to it, although that is the setting. It isn't entirely based on being a Western and that kind of thing. There's not that much I can tell you about it synopsis-wise without giving a whole lot away. We've got our two main characters to start with, Nat and Teta, and they are instructed by the president to go to a town where people keep disappearing. And apparently there's a big mine in the town and there might be gold there. So obviously, anytime gold's important, but back in the 1900s, President Roosevelt's very interested in finding out, A, what's happening to all his troops that he keeps sending there, and B, where is that gold in them hills? Because obviously that would be amazing to have it. And then a whole slew of things happen. We meet some more characters. Now, sometimes when you meet characters like halfway through a book, it really messes with the dynamics. And you kind of think, why are these people here? Are they just here solely to be killed off in a weird and wonderful way? Are they here just solely to antagonise our main characters? What are these people play an integral part? So even though they're introduced later on, they're still very much main characters. And that is something, again, which just proves what an amazingly brilliant writer Hunter is. So all in all, it's going to be no shock to know that I would give this 5 out of 5, and I would recommend it to anybody who is a fan of Hunter's writing, anybody who likes creature features, anybody who likes the Death's Head Press, why do I keep having to say that, splatterpunk westerns. Although this isn't splatterpunk, because it's in that same kind of time genre, whatnot, with the Western, then I think that you would enjoy this as well. I'm now going to hand over to Ben, because he has done a brilliant review, which is far more succinct and professional than mine. So thank you, Ben. Over to you.
Hey, my name is Ben, or as many of you guys probably know me from my Instagram handle, Reading Vicariously. And today I'm going to be doing a review of the book Ghost Mine by Hunter Shea. This was published from Flame Tree Press. And before I start, though, I just want to thank Janine for reaching out to me. And, number one, she reached out to me on Twitter and asked if I wanted to do a buddy read of something, which I love doing buddy reads. Absolutely love them. And so, I got really excited, and we're trying to figure out what we're going to read. And she is a huge fan of Hunter Shea, and I have actually never read, until now, any of his books. And so we both realized we had a copy of Ghost Mine and figured this would be a wonderful place to go with our buddy read. So, thank you to Janine for reaching out and for wanting to write a review with me. We each wrote a review, and we're going to guest post them on each other's websites. And then also, what we're doing right now is the she asked if I wanted to guest on her YouTube channel, which this is the very first time that I have done a video book review. So brand new at that. Not really sure how comfortable I feel, but I was very excited and honored that she offered. And so of course I decided to try it, throw myself into it and see how it goes. But anyways, thank you, Janine. And thank you, Hunter, for writing this book. I mean, I know that this is the first one I've read from you, but if this is any indication of what your other books are like, I am 100% on board and sold, and I need to go ahead and get some more of them. So, this book, it's set in the 1900s in the American West. Which is a really fun setting that I like more than I thought I would. This kind of Wild West that we see in like Bone Tomahawk and the Splatter Western series from Death's Head Press. I'm realizing that the Western setting is a really fun one for horror and thriller stories, and like them more than I thought I would. But and you've got these two guys, our two main characters, who are solid companions. That have been together through thick and thin as soldiers and cops and all these different things. And President Roosevelt has asked them to go and explore these abandoned mines where people have just disappeared. Anybody who goes to this mining town, they disappear and are never heard from again. And so it is up to our protagonist to investigate the town, investigate the mines, and figure out what is going on with this. And then that, of course, is where the story really picks up. And I mean, this is a story where I never knew what was going to happen next, which I absolutely love. Obviously, I mean, of course I tried to figure out, and I thought I knew, the first 50 pages, I was like, okay, this is the kind of story it's going to be. And then all of a sudden things started happening that I did not expect. And then I was completely caught off guard, or just, I didn't know. I was kept on my toes, and I really, really liked that, because every page I was turning was a surprise, or a surprise could be waiting that I did not expect. And so, and it goes into all these different directions that I don't want to talk about too much for fear of spoilers. This is certainly a book that, besides reading maybe the synopsis on the back, I would highly recommend going into without any, knowing anything about it, because it's an incredibly rewarding experience. I think some people could make the argument that Hunter Shea is doing a little bit too much. He's throwing everything at you in the kitchen sink. But I would argue that it doesn't matter, because it's really good. And the pacing is done so well. It builds so well. There's this mystery and this suspense that is building in the first half. And it's, there's these moments of dread and these scares that are thrown in, but they're building and building and building to this thing on this epic showdown at the end. And, I'm getting chills just thinking about it, because it was so much fun to read. And the other thing too about it was, a lot of scenes, as the name would suggest, ghost mine, which I think it was originally published under a title, Hellhole, which Hellhole is maybe a little bit more specific of some things, but I kind of like the title Ghost Mine. I think it really lends itself to the ambiguity and the mystery and kind of the setup in that first half. But anyways, a lot of it is set in these abandoned mine shafts. And as somebody who is terrified of, small, cramped, dark spaces, being claustrophobic in that way, I mean, just thinking about being in a tunnel, watching videos of people going into tunnels, underground and things like that, just completely give me the creeps. And so, the writing is so good that I really felt I was right there with our main characters as they're going deeper into the mountains and they're heading down, and, the walls are kind of closing in and they're having to crouch, and maybe their torches are about to go out, or there's rumbling and it feels like it's going to fall down or collapse on them. And just my heart was pounding. It was tense. And then, of course, you throw in the monsters and all the supernatural stuff and all of that together. It's just amazing. It was funny, moments where I laughed that I didn't expect. I really cared more about the main character than I thought I would, for this kind of non-stop kind of thrill ride, very action-heavy story. The main character, Nat, in particularly, the older character, had a lot of empathy for him, and kind of some of the complexities of his character were nice. There's a bit of a love story there as well, and just really this epic battle between good and evil that is just so much fun. And so anyways, I don't want to say too much more. I wrote about this. I would ask you guys to go check out my review, where maybe I said things a little bit better than I do on video. But really, really had a lot of fun reading this one. Definitely going to be going to check out more from Hunter Shea. And again, thank you to Janine for inviting me into all of this and doing this with me. And I am very much looking forward to more buddy reads in the future. All right, thank you guys. Bye.